Hi, I'm going to take a few minutes to walk you through the reward pathway. And this is going to be a series of 10 slides. These are animated slides, and it's going to show you how your brain reacts and to get some given situations. And as we go through these slides, I want you to think about how this pertains to you. I will have you summarize this reward pathway when we're done going through the slides. So here's the first slide, and this is showing you that the brain is divided into a bunch of different regions. Each one of those regions is responsible for a different function. In the center of the brain, right around here, is going to be the reward pathway. And that pathway is responsible for creating feelings that you have or different motivations that you have. On the next slide, you can see it looks like there's some signals being sent out. The job of the reward pathway is to make you feel good when you engage in behaviors that are necessary for survival. So the following slides are going to show us how that happens. The reward pathway connects to other areas of your brain. So you can see these blue connections here. That's just showing you that it's connecting to different parts of the brain. And these connections are what allows the reward pathway to gather information about what's happening outside of the body. Okay, so let's see how this reward pathway works. Imagine that you haven't eaten anything all day and someone walks by you with a nice big sandwich. It looks really good. And your five senses are going to gather information about what you are seeing and what you're smelling. So it's going to send signals to the brain, letting you know that there's a really good looking sandwich in front of you. Now, this part's a little weird. Stored in another part of your brain is the memory that when you eat a sandwich, you won't be hungry anymore. And when you're not hungry, you feel good. So, based on that information, your brain tells you to pick up the sandwich and eat it. So when your five senses let the brain know that your body is eating this good tasting sandwich and that your stomach is filling up, you have neurons in the reward pathway that release the chemical dopamine. That should be familiar to you. Dopamine we talked about during stress, and we said dopamine is responsible for pleasure and pain. So the release of that dopamine is going to give you some pleasure, and that's your reward for eating the sandwich. In addition to making you feel good when you eat that sandwich, the reward pathway wants to make sure that you repeat that behavior whenever possible. So it does that by connecting those regions of the brain that control your memory and your behavior. So when the reward pathway signals the area of the brain that controls memory, you are going to then create the memory that when you eat food, it makes you feel good. And then this is going to increase the likelihood that you will eat that food again. And there you go, eating that sandwich again. So the reward pathway is going to signal the brain's motor center, and it's going to help you achieve that reward. So you're going to move your body to get that sandwich and to eat it. So by giving you that jolt of pleasure, the reward pathway is working to ensure that you repeat the behavior necessary for survival. So this reward pathway is happening to us on a daily basis. And I want you to take a moment on your note sheet. So your note sheet looks like this. In this box, I want you to write a summary of the reward pathway. And then I want you to think, that's what happens to us on a daily basis. In the box below, I want you to write about how that reward pathway relates to the use of drugs.